What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a pretty interesting file that was found in Marvel's Spider-Man. This is coming from the PC version. So somebody did some digging, and they found something very, very interesting again about the files there that seemed to indicate that multiplayer was scrapped. Now, people are taking different angles at this. One angle is it was scrapped altogether. Another one is maybe they were lying and that Spider-Man 2 could have multiplayer. I'm going to go down the line that it was scrapped. It's clearly there. It's clearly, like, in the files. They kind of anticipate, you know, if you're playing as character 1, and that's what the pictures say, like, character 1 is going to see this if character 2 does, you know, things like that. If then, right? That's what they have. But if you go to the PlayStation blog when they announced both Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine at the same time, and they said very specifically single player. It's going to, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is a single player game. So again, you can look at it and say they are, I guess, like, you know, in the moment, they are planning on adding multiplayer to the second game. It definitely makes sense. Like, a world where you can play as both Peter and Miles and you can be swinging around the city with somebody else would be incredible. With that being said, you have to think about limitations. You have to think about the game that they're trying to make, which I think having multiplayer may take away from it. I think having, like, a multiplayer mode would be really, really awesome. I mean, again, like, you could definitely do it. There's absolutely a way I think you could do it. But if it's not what they're doing, it's not going to happen. So I look at this as something that maybe they had planned on. Maybe it was like an early idea. Now, it couldn't have been that early, right? Because, like, when you're pitching a game or you're coming up with stuff, like, that's early. And then there's where it makes it into the files of the game. You know what I mean? Cooperatively, it makes it into the files of the game. That's taking it another step of, well, it was almost there. I mean, maybe it was an idea that they were prototyping, that they were literally, actually, that's probably where it got to, where they were literally trying to make it work. They're programming it and trying to get it all in there, and it just, you know, whatever happened, and they pulled out of it. So that's kind of how I look at it. I don't think Spider-Man 2, now maybe if they did Spider-Man 3, and, you know, for the finale of the trilogy, and maybe you did a cooperative thing there, that would be pretty cool. Or maybe if there's, like, a spin-off game instead of a Miles Morales 2, or maybe even if you do a Miles 2 or you do some other spin-off, you know, Spidey kind of game, maybe you could have cooperative elements in that. I think, you know, having it in some game definitely makes sense. But again, I'm going to trust them with the PlayStation blog just because I don't really know if you needed to lie about that. You know what I mean? And I think people are kind of pointing that out around the internet where it's like they would have maybe said something. They wouldn't outright confirm it, but maybe they would say, like, we can't confirm nor deny or something. But to just outright say it's a single-player game, nobody was really asking questions back then either about it being a multiplayer game, and they just said it was single-player. There's really, you know what I mean? There's no real reason in my mind to doubt them, at least right now. I mean, if things start to get a little bit more sketchy in how they are, you know, if somebody asks them about it, and if their answer is, like, weird, then I'd definitely be back on the I love conspiracies. I'd be back on the bandwagon in a second, but right now I'm going to trust them that there was really no reason to lie. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you guys want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media, including our Patreon, is in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.